It's coffee break. You know what I'm so excited for?
Huh.
When they announced it this week, I could not believe it. Shrek 5.
We wwere all on the edge of our seat.
Oh my god.
We all could not wait.
Pixar. Calm down. Because DreamWorks has, for the third time in history, announced Shrek 5.
There's some hot competition coming.
Can I tell you what's unique about Shrek 5?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they announced the original cast.
Yeah?
And that's it.
All we've seen is a 5 with ogre ears.
July 1st, 2026.
Cannot wait.
God. And the stupid 5 just moving around.
I know. I don't want this. I don't want this movie.
No one wants this. No one cares. What about Donkey?
It's because so Puss in Boots did good.
Mm-hmm.
And that tricked DreamWorks into thinking, yes, people do want this world. That we can do the long-fated 5th sequel to Shrek.
Toy Story 5 is also on its way.
Yes. Another thing I also don't want. Another franchise they won't just let live. Just die.
I thought at the end of 4 we made it clear. This is it. We're done. It's over.
And we didn't need 4. I'm good. Because
we really
also
didn't.
The end of 3 also made it clear that things were done.
I do appreciate 4, and I do think it's a good film. I also think Lightyear is a great film.
No.
It's a financial flop.
You can be over there in your corner by yourself with no one agreeing with you.
But that's fine because everyone said Puss in Boots' Last Wish, right? That's what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Was great. I got through 10 minutes of it and said, nah, not for me.
You started watching it without me?
You don't remember watching it?
No.
We both were like, nah, this is dumb.
I don't remember that at all.
And we said, nah.
I don't think that's true.
Factually, we said nah.
Because I think I wanted to watch it.
I don't know. Why?
Why what?
These franchises are so old. Stop dragging them back out.
Because these companies, they've gotten so bad. They don't have any original ideas. They just repeat old things to try to prey on, like, nostalgia, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And every time they do come up with, like, a new original idea, they bury it, so it doesn't, like, get marketed well. Half the time their original ideas are just, like, poor man's versions of other people's ideas.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, what was DreamWorks' new thing last year?
I don't even remember.
What is their thing this year?
I don't... Isn't it... No, I have no idea. Was it Kung Fu Panda?
Oh, yep. Kung Fu Panda.
Another sequel no one wanted.
Which, historically, is the lowest grossing film in all 4 of them.
Dang. It looked not good.
Yeah. And also, way too late for it. And now, Shrek 5, when did Shrek 4 come out?
I was in high school. I was still in high school, so it was like 10 years ago at least.
I think it's 2013 when that one was released.
Ugh, it was so... And
It's the early 10s.
I've seen an influx of people on Twitter being like, Shrek 4 was really good, though. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. It really wasn't, though. I think you were just a child when you watched it, and you're nostalgic for it. It's not bad, but it's not a good movie, especially compared to the others in the Shrek franchise.
Not Shrek 3, Shrek 3. Oh my god, I hate Shrek 3.
I barely even remember it.
The first one and the second one,
mm-hmm.
I'm going to go as far as to say, look at The Godfather. I know. It's a jump. It's a leap. But it's not. So hear me out. Shrek is a wonderful classic film.
Yep. Nice, cute.
When it came out, everybody loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, it's still a great film. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The second one pops off even harder. It's better. The sequel, Shrek 2, is better than Shrek.
And it introduces Puss, which is a huge addition to their team.
Yep.
It's snappier, funnier, more creative with the fairy tales.
Mm-hmm.
Ever After is a very fun town to have the setting take place in.
Yep.
I love to.
And how does that compare to The Godfather? Well, The Godfather is considered a perfect film by many enthusiasts. I don't know if it's perfect. I don't think any film's perfect. But
Just you wait till Shrek 5,
Yeah.
baby.
then I'll be told how it really is. Anyways, how The Godfather is a phenomenal film, and it is very well beloved, right? Even for its time into today. And the sequel is considered the greatest sequels of all time.
Yeah.
But I often go, that one was really boring. Godfather Part 2 has its very long, boring moments. Well, Shrek 2 cut out all those boring moments and is just superior to its first film.
It's just so fun. I don't want Shrek 5. Compared to Toy Story 5, I'd rather take Shrek 5, though. Because at least Shrek 5, we could do something creative. There's new fairy tales to be had. With Toy Story, there's only so many times you can see a children's toy doing something evil and find it funny or charming.
You don't want them to fight a messed up toy that has a really depressing backstory of being abandoned?
The same thing for the millionth time. Pixar.
Yeah.
You just are stuck on repeat doing the same thing over and over again.
The question of this week is going to be Shrek 5 or Toy Story 5.
Yeah.
If you want to go crazy, and I implore you to, write down why you think you want to watch the other one more than the other. Or just bash the other one.
Yeah.
Because technically, these films do not exist.
Yes.
These are just words from rich white men who want to make movies.
Yes.
This does not exist. So you can talk crap about something that doesn't exist.
Yes.
It's totally free game.
This is all theoretical.
For
Crap all you want.
For me, I cannot fundamentally envision what Toy Story 5 could even be about, because the ending of 4 was pretty obvious that Buzz and Woody split up.
Yeah.
And
are we going to bring Woody back?
You would have to.
Do we?
Woody's the main character.
Is he?
Yes.
Anymore? What if we make a new main character? What if it's a different Woody? New and improved, all plastic and action figure-y.
I would make the joke it's Liam Neeson just as Woody. But I'm pretty sure Liam Neeson played the villain in the last one, didn't he?
Did he? No, the villain was a girl. It was a doll. Maybe he was the villain in the third one. Was he the teddy bear?
Laughs a lot?
Lotso? I don't remember. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch the third one.
But there's also this idea where there's been so much time since 4 that it could be about Bonnie growing up and wanting to get rid of the toys so they get to a new kid.
Which is just the same thing as 3 again.
Yeah, 4 basically.
It wouldn't be surprising, because that's just what they've been doing on repeat for forever already.
And then when you get to Shrek, where could they go? You say fairy tales, right? There's a plethora of them. Of course, wonderful. Love fairy tales.
Yeah.
But Shrek has yet to spend any adequate time with his children.
Yeah, that's honestly, I would really like to see those kids get, like, names, personalities.
Are they going to be kids? Are they going to be adolescents?
Yeah. Tweens, teens.
Adults?
Who knows? Anything can happen.
Or, after the success of Puss in Boots 2, there has been a excitement for a donkey movie.
Yeah, I've heard murmurings.
So what if, because Eddie Murphy's back, and he was announced as playing Donkey. I don't know if you guys figured that out yet.
I was hoping he'd be Mushu.
He missed out that role in the live action one. Anyways.
Oh, God.
Yeah, live action Mulan. That's going to live there.
Horrible.
What if secretly Shrek 5 is really a donkey movie?
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Just hear me out on it.
But it's not the thing. I don't...
Yeah, and then you're going to go, then why is it called Shrek? Bait and switch.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm not opposed to a donkey movie. I think it could be fun, but I think it also could very easily tip into being like, we could have done something more interesting.
So the question of this week, Toy Story 5 or Shrek 5?
Yeah.
Which one do you want to see more and why?
Yes.
Go for it. Now, surprising news about Paramount. Last week we were talking about how Paramount has pretty much given up on its streaming service, Paramount Plus, and wants to merge with somebody else. That seems to be still going, but the parent company, Paramount, has double backed on everything we've ever talked about and is now merging with Skydance.
A very confusing decision, I'm going to say. Not what I expected.
When I read that, I was like, wait, what are you talking about? You said you were done talking to them.
There must have been some sort of weird legalese happening behind the scenes.
It really has to do with the board.
Yeah.
The people who have stock invested into this company and the ones who are like, how do I make money out of this?
Yeah,
they don't care about the IPs.
No, they don't care about the shows. They don't care about the characters or the product even in any way. They just care about the money they make.
And the interesting thing is that Hollywood apparently is very excited about this, that Paramount is going to become something bigger.
I'm okay. I don't think anything could happen.
Tom Cruise himself gave it a thumbs of approval.
Wow.
So,
I'm annoyed that they changed the Paramount logo.
How'd they change it?
They changed the font.
That's it?
Yes. Well, yes, they simplified it. They did the thing that every company does, where they take their classic, iconic logo and then do, a simplified rendition. And it just makes everyone look very boring. And it's not the classic font anymore. And I don't like it. So, there.
See, if I was going to change it, having a company named Skydance and having stars in my logo, I would have kind of played with that a little more.
Oh, because of the mountain with the stars around it?
Yes.
Yeah.
The mountain, the peak of the mountain being the paramount of everything.
Stars are in the sky.
Yeah, but I would have had them dancing.
This is dancing. It's all the same stars.
Just wish stars.
But they all have little mini top hats and canes, and they're all doing a little dance.
Yep. And it's just a bad gift that you send to people. I don't know what this really will become. This merger here.
Could be good. Could be bad.
Here's the thing. Back in, the last few times we've watched Disney consume Fox.
Yeah.
We've watched Warner Brothers consume Discovery.
Yeah.
And now Skydance is going to consume Paramount.
Yeah.
With the earlier two, right? Bad things have happened.
Yes.
And they continue to keep getting worse.
Yeah.
Disney's really cool in it with Fox, but still there are some really dumb things going on.
Yes.
Especially with Hulu versus Disney Plus, where you don't need Hulu anymore because you can get Disney Plus.
It's so true. And it's also I don't want to get rid of our Hulu because I don't know if they're going to keep Disney Plus around because they don't know what they're doing with the app.
Yeah, they don't. Warner Brothers doesn't want Max anymore. Paramount doesn't want Paramount Plus anymore.
It's they all dove in and then they didn't think about it and then give them the billions of numbers they wanted.
I wonder if Sony's sitting there laughing, going, "Thank God we didn't make a streaming service."
I bet it's Netflix because that's what they were all doing. They were all mimicking Netflix with their Game of Thrones and I guess Game of Thrones was Max, but Stranger Things and stuff. And they all were like, well, look at how amazing these numbers were for these monumental pop culture events. We could do that too. But then they forgot to put the monumental pop culture thing onto their platform.
Technically, Game of Thrones began before streaming.
Technically, yes. But it really hit its peak with streaming. Made it easier for people to catch up, I'm going to say.
And now we got House of Dragon.
Yup. Which we have not caught up on.
No.
Sorry.
I know it's getting good. People keep saying we're getting there. But luckily, we will talk about The Acolyte.
Yeah.
We will talk about the 2 episodes that we missed. It'll be later on in this episode, so if you only care about The Acolyte, you can skip forward, or you could be polite and listen to the rest of this.
Yeah, be polite.
Do whatever makes you happy, but just know The Acolyte is in here.
Yes.
Okay? Redbox.
Yeah, what about it?
Who did what Netflix used to do.
Yes.
But at a kiosk next to a, gas station or grocery store.
Always in weird little locations.
They're officially done.
Yeah.
They're ripping them out. The ones near us, they're already gone. They took them away. You can actually see where they cut the bolts from the concrete.
It's crazy because I didn't even realize. That's how little of an impact the Redbox had on my life. That I didn't even notice it wasn't there anymore.
When Redbox came out, it was super cool because we had already pretty much lost Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Blockbuster was getting ridiculous. They tried to make their own streaming service. They tried to make their own streaming video game service. There was that rival streaming video game service. They're gone too.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that was.
Redbox really made sense before streaming was really popular. Like that was when Netflix was still like a company that would mail you DVDs.
Yep. But now they're their own thing, and you could just get their app and just watch it, and they don't have to mail you anything.
Yeah.
They also officially ended that a while ago. But with Redbox gone, and the months, years leading up to this, it was not getting any better. It was getting more expensive. It used to be $1 to rent from them. Then it became $2, and it was some odd cents.
I remember an ad way back in the day, and it was, there's money in these movie rental boxes. You can get yours, and you can make some money if you do this. And I remember there were being commercials for that, for people to, like, get their own rental movie boxes set up in their own neighborhoods, and they would get, like, a cut of the pay for it. And that happened just before streaming really started.
Oof.
I wonder how many poor saps just lost out.
It would be great if you were in a retirement community.
I guess.
Because I've noticed these boomers, let's not just hide behind anything, it's the boomers. They like to play media on physical forms.
Yeah, well, they're not good with technology.
No, they refuse to learn, and it's just asinine to me that they would even they still buy DVDs.
I know, it's so weird. And
you ever just go to like your local retail store and just watch them scrounge through the $5 bin of DVDs?
And they always get like weird things too. And they don't even watch them most of the time. They'll just watch the same old 3 movies.
The other day, I watched this old man. He goes through the very bottom, and then he realizes there's nothing good there. And sitting on top was Dances with Wolves.
Oh, well, there you go.
And then he picks it up, and he goes, that's the one. And it's like, you didn't have to dig down there. And also, you saw that movie. You were alive when that one came out.
Yeah.
You probably were in theaters when that came out.
They're not picking any new
Why don't you own it already?
Only old classic. Yeah. It's when, and then they'll sit there and they'll like complain that you can't find any good movies these days. And I'm like, if you got a streaming service, you could probably find something.
Yeah. You can find them. You can also buy them. You can rent them.
Oh, well.
Though rent prices have gone up.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad DVDs are going out the way of the dodo. The 4K and Blu-ray sales are significantly low, but I think 4K will stick around just because there's a luxury to having a physical format.
Yeah.
Especially if the power goes out.
Yes.
Or if you're just out in the middle of the woods and you just want to watch a movie because you realize that you removed yourself so far from society that you actually still kind of need it to survive.
Also, just for like the preservation's sake. Like with how like anything can be gone from a streaming service.
Yes, Willow.
Yeah.
I think about Willow and I'm like, if they ever actually released it, I would buy it just to keep it.
Yeah, just because like...
And then be like, this was a thing that Disney made.
Yeah, crazy. Oh well.
Usually we talk about box office trolls later on, and we will. But I just wanted to bring this out earlier, is that Inside Out 2 has surpassed Incredibles 2 as the highest grossing Pixar film.
Yeah. Well, but Incredibles 2 was bad. So that's not that impressive of a feat, I'm gonna say.
I can't imagine Inside Out 2 is actually good.
No.
The first one? You and I sat down and watched it maybe 3 years ago.
It was
and that was the first time I really actually gave it a try.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, bing bong.
I've watched it a couple of times now, and every time I do, I like it less and less.
Yeah.
It just gets more and more, like, bland. And
yeah, well, the way I noticed it was Hope was trying to...
Joy.
Joy was trying to find hope. And there was always just some stupid random event that just prevented her from moving forward. So she would have to figure out how to fix it.
And it was usually a pun, you know? Like the train of thought.
Yes,
Yeah.
the train. And the thing is, yes, that's how you write stories, but you don't write stories with the obvious obstacle just appearing when you're ready to move on.
And the thing was, it was very repetitive, because, like, Joy rolls up, she's like, I'll use my joyness to solve the problem, and then it doesn't work, it just makes things worse. And then Sadness does her thing, that kind of fixes things. And it's like, what? Sadness was the important one all along?
Yep.
And I worry it's going to be a lot of that for Inside Out 2. But instead of sadness, it's anxiety.
Yes. And for the character's sake, you know, the little girl that they're inside,
Riley? Yeah.
is going through these turbulent emotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
That part never bothered me. It's just, it seemed like every time the story was going to move forward, a new problem arose. Now, Incredibles 2, how'd you feel about that one?
I don't remember, because it was so boring. It had a twist villain at the end, which wasn't even good. I hate the twist villain things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember it. It's so long of a film, and nothing happened. It's a lot of, like, desperately trying to repeat jokes from the first one, but making all the characters more annoying and worse.
You know what I think the second one really missed out on? Syndrome.
Yeah, Syndrome was fantastic.
Of course, never bring him back.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he died. Horrifically. But most Disney villains do die in horrific accidents.
Yes. That's not Disney. That's Pixar.
It's still Disney.
Yeah, it is. Nah.
And him, his thought, his whole emotion, his being, why he hates the supers, his reasoning, his conviction, and his delivery of lines.
Yeah.
And got busy! I always thought it was funny because the adults laughed. And then as I grew up, I was like, oh, that is kind of funny what he's actually saying.
I do get it now.
Because he's seeing the family and he's like, oh, this is what you've been up to. He was awesome.
That's why I hate the twist villain thing that's become so common these days. It's because you don't get that cool villains throughout the movie. It's a lot of, like, and because there is no, like, true villain, it's a lot of, like, the characters just being aimless, and usually they're just arguing with each other. And it's like, oh, then there's a villain at the very end. It's like, I just don't like it. It was neat initially, but they've done it a billion times, and I don't like it anymore.
I don't even remember the villain.
It was some lady.
And well, no, that's my point. It doesn't matter who it was.
Yeah.
I remember Syndrome because he was there constantly, and he has a presence.
Yes.
And his mission statement is very much clear to everyone of all ages.
I don't remember why the lady was mad at Supers or Elastigirl or whatever.
It also goes to show that it took way too long for them to make it. For Brad Bird to write it and create it, maybe it should have been just like, hey, it's been 10 years, let's just not do this.
Yeah, maybe, but now that Inside Out 2
Has
did
made
a
so
really
much.
good, and they're already going to do their Toy Story 2 and Shrek 5, Toy Story 5 and Shrek 5, and all these dumb companies are like, just make a million sequels forever and ever.
Well, they already announced Incredibles 3.
Yeah.
So
Make them older. I want Jack to be a kid.
I want Jack to be just Jack.
I want Jack to be a kid. I want Dash to be a teenager. I want Violet off to college. That's what I want.
Okay, One Piece Day coming up this August 9th to 11th. Yes.
That's not a day.
Typically, a day is 24 hours, but apparently in One Piece, it's 72.
You gotta make up for it. There's so many characters.
Much like Oda, we have to drag this out for way too long.
What's happening?
So, they will announce what's going on with the anime remake.
Hooray.
So we'll finally get some updates on that.
I forgot about it.
Me too.
I totally forgot about it.
And I was like, oh yeah, there is something I was supposed to look forward to.
I'm intrigued what their art style is going to look like.
Me too. Because the concept art, I was like, okay.
Yeah. The live action is starting production on season 2.
Yep, we know that.
That's very exciting. Good stuff. Good time to be a One Piece fan.
It is. There are plans to remake the cult classic, spaghetti western, Fistful of Dollars, directed by Sergio Leone, starring Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
This is a trilogy known as The Man with No Name.
Yes.
A Fistful of Dollars is the beginning of the trilogy.
Uh-huh.
It is about a bounty hunter who enters a unknown town, who is hired to basically take out the other side of the town.
It's a Western. The plot is every Western's plot. The guy rolls up. He has to kill people.
And gets money. And leaves.
Yes. So leaving some girl brokenhearted.
Yep.
Because she liked him, but he won't be sticking
Oh,
around.
no. So in this one, no girl.
Oh.
Actually, in all of the trilogy...
Is there any women?
In the second one, I would say definitely. But for the Man with No Name, Clint Eastwood's character, right? No attraction.
Okay.
It's just him going out there, getting money, and killing people.
I'm gonna be real. I don't super want a remake of this movie. I think if you're gonna watch it, just watch the original.
You should watch the original. I love that the blood is orange.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Saw 7's Pink Blood.
Yeah, well, that's unforgivable. But
no, I think there's like westerns are such history pieces. If you're gonna study it, if you're gonna watch it, it should be a thing to be studied as like a time capsule of its time.
well, this is the first movie of the trilogy. Like I said, the Man with No Name trilogy.
Yeah.
This is the weakest entry of the trilogy. The strongest entry being the third.
Yes.
The Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Which everyone knows. You do know it. Believe me, you at least know the music from it.
If your mom knows Metallica, you've heard it.
If you've taken any film class, you've seen that scene with the white cowboy hats and the black cowboy hats, because good guys wear white, bad guys wear black.
Yep.
Color theory.
The sequel, the second one, A Few Dollars More, has probably one of the greatest twists that any Western I've ever seen.
Also, who's in that one?
It's Lee Van Cleef.
That's what, yeah.
Lee Van Cleef is also the villain in Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Mm-hmm. Lee Van Cleef is an amazing actor. I love him. I've watched other Westerns with him in it. He's still a great actor. Mm-hmm. But, oh my god. If you want to watch a true Western where you're like, what's going on? I don't understand. But this is really cool. Few Dollars More.
Yeah.
It will get you. And you will feel this emotional, gut-wrenching pain, but also this need for redemption. Mm-hmm. And it's lovely. Now, there is room for a remake of A Fistful of Dollars, but also, I agree with you. If it's part of a Criterion collection, leave it the fuck alone.
Also, like, all the other Westerns they've tried to do modernized, like True Grit is the one that initially comes to mind.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think it's really adding anything. It's just making it drearier, darker, sadder, thicker accents, so I can't freaking understand anybody. You need subtitles for that one.
Yeah, John Wayne Gacy plays Rooster Cogburn in the first one. Mm-hmm. And then Jeff Bridges plays Rooster Cogburn in the new one.
Did you call him John Wayne Gacy?
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
I was like, wait a minute.
It's just John Wayne.
That's a different guy.
If you don't know who John Wayne Gacy is, don't look him up. Trust me, he won't sleep for a while. We will talk more about Westerns. Just know that they want to remake this classic.
Yeah, okay.
The Conjuring 4, or also known as The Conjuring Last Rite,
No.
is going to be the final Conjuring film and is due for theaters next autumn.
No!
Not this autumn, so 2025.
I can't believe they're making another one.
No.
This has to be, like, some contractual obligation. Because who wants this? Not only did Conjuring 3 did terrible, but the Warrens are not liked people anymore. This had to be just, like, some, like, contract they couldn't break or something.
So, we talked about the third one.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Because it was bad.
It is terrible.
It was so bad.
If you wanted to sit down and have a conversation with me about good horror films, I would love to bring up The Conjuring and Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
But when it comes to The Devil Made Me Do It, which is Conjuring 3, and learning the source material, which in maybe a few months ago. It might have been a while now. I watched a documentary based on the same case, but it's from the perspective of the actual family.
It's a heartbreaking, terrible
You
ordeal
find out
they
the
went
Warrens didn't help them at all. There's a murder. The family is broken.
through. The Warrens just...
Warrens showed up, they stole the story, they wrote a book, and they took all the money, and they left this family to suffer, and you can still see them today suffering.
But in the movie, what if instead...
She has superpowers!
She was a superhero or something.
So that's so unique and neat.
Oh my god. Something I love about...
They're con artists.
Yes. Something I love about horror movies is they always have to find the thing, the like hint that there's something wicked afoot, and it's always like the goofiest, stupidest looking thing. It's like a totem, an artifact, and it's like some sticks glued together. I remember one of them was like a Ouija board, and it was like a homemade one because the kids made it themselves. This was Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
And so it was like cut out from magazines and stuff, and it just does not look, it's not nearly as scary as they always make it out to be. My favorite is when there's like a pentagram drawn on something, and they're like, a pentagram, and I'm like, it's just a star. Anyone can draw a star.
Zach Bagans, calm down.
I know.
It's just a kid with chalk. He's having fun. He doesn't know how to draw shapes yet. Yeah, so religious artifacts wise, right? The devil made me do it.
Yeah.
Supposedly the chair that the boyfriend sat in that made him become possessed with the devil to kill his landlord was some demonic thing, right?
That's so dumb.
Zach Bagans actually has the chair in his museum.
Wow. What a cool guy.
In every rendition of the story besides Zach's, that chair does not exist.
Because having, like, I sat in a demon chair. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. What made it a demon chair? I don't know.
I farted.
Someone drew, like, a little devil emoji on it.
It's signed by you. That's weird.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, Conjuring 4, I don't know why. This has to end. Just stop it. It's gotten so bad.
The thing that sucks, who are they? Their names, the actors that's playing the Warrens.
Patrick Wilson.
Yes. They're...
I can't remember her name.
They are so much better than this franchise.
Vera...
Fawcett.
No. That's Farrah. I said Vera.
I know. You also said John Wayne Gacy.
That was a joke.
I can make a Farrah Fawcett joke.
This is my podcast.
Anyway, they're so much better than these movies. They should be doing way better films.
Oh, like Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, Patrick
like
Wilson.
Aquaman 2.
We love you. We love that you love Ghost. Thank you, dude.
Yes. A beautiful singing voice.
Yes.
Amazing.
He did a song with Ghost. Yeah, if you're excited for Conjuring, here it comes again.
Woo-hoo.
Okay. New news. Now, if you remember a few weeks ago, I know. Now, all these episodes are starting to attach onto old episodes because there's like news that's reoccurring.
Yep.
Which I think is kind of cool because we're slowly building it up. But it was not something I thought when I started building this podcast.
Huh?
Was like, oh, as time moves on, we're going to have to reflect on the time when this was happening. That's a side note.
Uh-huh.
So when we were talking about Harry Potter being remade as a television show.
Yeah.
And Welcome to Derry, which is the Pennywise prequel show.
Oh, yeah. Totally forgot about that one.
And how they have decided, Warner Brothers, WBD, has decided that it's no longer a Max original. They're HBO shows.
Okay. So they're going back to the HBO thing?
So remember what I said earlier.
Uh-huh.
They're trying to get away from the streaming service. Disney and Paramount are also doing the same thing. They've also announced that the upcoming shows, which are already in production or post-production and are on the way to being released, The Penguin and Dune Prophecy, which takes place 1,000 years before Dune, or 10,000 years. Sound familiar? Anyways, are also not going to be Max exclusives. They're going to be HBO.
It's almost like when they went through this whole process to rebrand and get rid of their mega iconic HBO name, and everyone said, that's really bad, don't do that. And then they did it anyway. It's almost like we were right.
Do you remember when we first got HBO? Mm-hmm. When it became a streaming service?
Yep.
And that's how we started watching Game of Thrones.
It was really good.
How we started watching Curb Your Enthusiasm.
We had only praise for it. John Oliver last week tonight. Yep.
And there was another one. For me, Sopranos.
Yeah.
Which is HBO.
Classic.
When that fuzzy screen turns on and it goes,
yep,
and says HBO, home box office, you're like, we're in for a treat. This is going to be top notch.
Now, with that, like, water droplet effect, and it's like max.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. I'm just a mistake the whole way through.
I'm not a soundboard. I'm sorry, guys.
You're so close.
I'm trying.
One day you'll become a soundboard. I believe in you.
When I wish upon a star. A Paramount Skydance star.
I wake up and I roll over and there's just a piece of technology in the bed. And I'm like, what the heck? Beep, boop. You just have only sound effects from HBO now.
No, just Encounters of the Third Kind. It's just annoying at that point. Anyways, they're now doubling back on the whole thing, and they're going to be HBO shows.
So stupid.
All I can say is, if you're going to muddy the love and the passion that went into the original HBO...
Yeah.
What am I looking for?
Salt in the wound.
Yeah, if you're going to pretend like this is the continuation of a great channel making great new content, you better deliver.
Whatever.
I just wanted to point that out. So if you're a little confused, I don't think anyone will.
An embarrassing turnaround for them.
I think the one that would jar me the most is Harry Potter. Just seeing the HBO opening, just being like, this is a kid's show?
That would be weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Because HBO has always made sure that it was mature adult content.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know
what this Harry Potter thing's gonna be like. Maybe it's gonna be super edgy with those 11-year-olds.
Joke on you, it's not about Hogwarts, it's about the Ministry.
Oh
man, that would be a great idea for them to ruin it.
Yeah, it would.
Bring politics into it.
Oh, God.
Sam Raimi is going to direct a new horror film.
Hooray.
This film is called Send Help.
Nice.
Which has been described as a mixture of everyone's beloved FedEx movie, Castaway, and Stephen King's romance novel, Misery.
I don't want this. It's going to be so sad. It's going to be so sad. I cannot, with those two being the thing you're describing it, you're like comparing it as, I don't want that. No. It's just going to be the worst things of both of those films. It's going to be a heart-wrenching affair.
So I never saw Misery, but I remember my dad telling me about it because he was really disturbed by it, obviously.
Yeah.
Which I was like, yeah, you should console your adolescent son into what this story is about.
It's actually one of Stephen King's better ones because there's
obviously people talk about it.
Well, there's no like fantastical elements. There's no usually some weird magical thing gets incorporated into it somehow.
Yeah.
This one is like, that's just a woman. That's just a crazy woman. And it's like, oh, that's scarier because that could actually happen. Ooh.
Yeah. And I would reverse that. It's a crazy woman. It's just a woman.
Boo.
Jokes. Castaway.
Crazy.
I remember watching it as a kid. And
why?
My parents had it on.
How old were you?
Old enough to understand what's going on screen, but not understanding emotion from people.
What, like 10?
Maybe 8?
8? They should not have let you watch Castaway at 8.
I remember feeling very sorry for Tom Hanks' character.
Yeah.
I remember feeling very upset when Wilson betrays him. He did.
He does. It is sad.
That's how you have to interpret that.
That is the saddest part of that movie.
The thing that always got me, especially later in life when I have gone back to rewatch it. I don't watch it often. I mean, it's been 10 years since I've seen it.
It's not a fun one to pop in on a stormy day.
Let's go. Is when he comes back home after being rescued. And he's laying on the floor of his hotel room. And because he can't get used to the comfy bed. And he's used to sleeping on rocks.
Yeah.
And he's flashing his light like he did on the island to look at a photo of his wife, who has moved on. Everyone has moved on in their lives, thinking he was dead.
It wasn't even a happy ending for him.
No, it's not.
They had him tortured throughout the whole island, and then it wasn't. Why would they make
his wife married his best friend? They had kids.
Why would they do that? What storyteller?
The thing that kills me in the entire thing is the party of, hey, welcome back. They serve him seafood.
No.
Which is the cuisine,
No.
the only diet, his restriction of food that he was stuck with on the fucking island.
That's actual torture porn.
It's not a happy movie. There's no moments of happiness.
Why would they do that? Who wrote this? Why would they do that? Why would they do that?
It's somebody who hates FedEx. And they're like, I want to ups.
Terrible.
There are rumors, and remember, these are rumors. I've been looking to see if anything validates them. I can't. But supposedly, there's an actor named Keenan Clark, and he has been casted as the new king of the MCU.
Hooray!
Again, these are just rumors. The rumor also says that he will appear in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Which is 2 weeks away? 2 or 3? Something like that? Soon.
Say 3? No.
So I guess
2
2
weeks.
These rumors will be proven true or false sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we'll find out, but I
hope it's true.
I'm so confused. Are we getting rid of King? Are we keeping King? Or are we just going to move to the side and King's still going to be there? Are we going to do Doctor Doom? What the hell are we doing? What is Secret Wars? I've read a rumor that Tobey Maguire is coming back to Spider-Man.
That's not going to happen.
Deadpool,
they're not.
Wolverine, and Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man are the actual main stars of Secret Wars, and they're going to try and fix the MCU, and then we can continue on with a better, happy life.
That's not going to happen. They're not going to bring back Tobey Maguire. That rumor is definitely just some nerd being like, but I liked the Tobey ones.
But, Marshall Mathers, a.k.a. Eminem,
yeah,
made a song about Tobey.
Did he?
Yes.
Wow. When?
I don't know. It's just called Toby.
Oh. Yeah. What was the point you were making before you went on your weird rant just now? What was the actual...
it's just a rumor.
King. I hope it's true. I hope it's a true rumor.
Yeah, instead of getting rid of King, just keeping him around. Mm-hmm. That would be fun. He should always be around. He should never be like, I'm here, you killed me. You know, like he's supposed to be infinite.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
Is that dying?
Yeah, that's my... I'm not a Shakespearean, bro.
I think it's dumb to throw away the character. They've done so much with King and to setting him up already. It would make no sense to just drop him, you know? So I hope it's true.
Me too. Regardless of where they go, they should keep King around. Mm-hmm. Deadpool and Wolverine now have DiGiorno pizzas.
Yeah.
Widely available.
Yeah.
4 different flavors.
They did this with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes. Which makes more sense.
I wish they did this more. This is fun. This is a fun thing.
My favorite flavor is the Wade Special.
Yep.
Which is... if you remember the first movie and you're a big fan of it, you would remember this. Pineapple and black olives.
That's it?
Yes.
Just those 2?
It's just that.
I like me pineapple on a pizza, which might be a controversial take. I like black olives. There has to be something else, though. It can't just be that.
I want to get all 4 flavors and try them. Mm-hmm. Just to support the movie and because of the podcast, talk about the flavors and just see what's going on.
Also, I'm burningly curious. Is it good?
It can't be.
Maybe it might be.
It can't be.
I think it really hinges on the sauce that they use.
Yeah, it's DiGiorno.
Yeah.
You know their catchphrase, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno? And I go, oh, man.
Oh, I should just
I wanted Domino's. Emma Roberts, back to the MCU.
Uh-huh.
Not officially MCU, blames the internet on why Madam Web failed, claiming that the internet trolls are the reason why Madam Web was so poorly received. Now, looking at how dumb this remark is,
yes.
Let's look at the actual lead actress of the film, Dakota Johnson,
yes.
and what she had to say about Madam Web. And she said, Hollywood turns out crap, and the audience are smarter than that, and they knew that this was crap, and therefore they didn't want to watch it.
Yeah.
Calling it as it is. Yeah. And now you got Emma Roberts saying quite the opposite.
What a...
I didn't know she was in the movie, by the way.
I don't...
I didn't know.
That's so petty. What a childish thing to do. To blame the audience that your movie didn't do good. Oh, it's the audience's fault that no one liked it. Really? Because I think it's actually your job. If someone hands you a burger and you bite into the burger and you're like, this tastes bad, you don't tell the customer they're wrong. Because that's the actual saying. The customer's always right in matters of taste. If they think it tastes bad, it tastes bad. You, as the product maker, needs to make it something that people will enjoy. And if it's just one customer, that's one thing. If it's the whole general masses, you fucked up. Yes. Not the customers.
Yes. And I've been taught a different way of understanding that saying. The customer's always right. It's about pleasing the customer to make the buck.
That's...
It's a scummy way, but basically that's the mentality that current day retail has.
Yes. Well, the original saying was what I said, in matters of taste, which is exactly my example, where if a customer wants something done a certain way, like food-wise, you don't tell them no, because customers are always right. If they want no cheese on their cheeseburger, that's them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not supposed to be used as a thing of like some old crusty lady who can't read her coupons is sitting there screaming and yelling at the cashier. She doesn't get what she wants just because the customer is always right. That's just you being a poopy butt.
Yeah, so Emma Roberts, go back to Paris. We're done with you.
You're a poopy butt, Emma Roberts.
Devil Wears Prada 2.
Yeah.
I never saw the original.
We should. I've seen it once.
You liked it?
I don't remember much of it. But
I thought it was about a magazine that does fashion design.
Kind of.
Starring Meryl Streep?
Yeah. I remember it being good, but I don't remember anything about it.
Okay.
So I would like to see it again.
Well, they're working on it. They're also currently filming Freaky Friday 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
With who? Jamie Lee Curtis?
And?
Lindsay Lohan?
Yeah.
What?
And Lindsay Lohan was the one who confirmed this.
Oh.
And she said it was weird to be on set in the studio where they filmed Parent Trap.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah, and that was kind of her reaction, was like, it's so weird to come back as an adult.
Being like a 10-year-old versus a 40-year-old.
And being in Disney Studios.
Cool.
So,
interesting.
If you're a fan of that or you're interested, it's coming out.
I'm intrigued.
Let's go to Westerns. Let's talk about the American Westerns. I don't know how there could be any other Western.
Yeah.
So, Horizon, an American Saga, Chapter 1.
Yeah.
Written, directed, and starring Kevin Costner.
Yahoo! We've mentioned it a couple times now.
Kevin Costner has done many Westerns.
Uh-huh.
His most recent, you can count Yellowstone.
Uh-huh.
He's also did Dances with Wolves. I talked about that earlier.
That's him?
Yep.
No way.
Mm-hmm. The one who eats the rats, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Not the main character?
He's the main character.
That's Kevin Costner?
Yeah.
No way!
He was
Wow!
He was Wyatt Earp in Wyatt Earp.
Yeah.
Which came out at the same time as Tombstone.
The vastly better one. Infinitely better.
Wyatt Earp is way more historically accurate, but Tombstone is the better film. I prefer Tombstone just because I love the romanticization of it.
Also, Kurt Russell is a 10 out of 10 cutie McTootie.
Oh, really? That's your guy?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought, what's his name? Val Kilmer. Playing Doc.
He's also pretty good.
Holiday. Oh, I'll be your Huckleberry.
No. No. No.
I got one for each of you. If you haven't seen that one, that's a phenomenal Western. You don't need to know much. They'll tell you everything right there and then.
What's Kevin Costner doing? What is it?
Chapter 1 just came out.
Yeah.
The reception was very low, and we will get to box office trolls with it. But basically, they wanted to do something very similar to Rebel Moon, where a few months before you get Chapter 1, and then a few months later, Chapter 2. Chapter 2 was due this August or September. Mm-hmm. How bad 1 did, they pulled 2 indefinitely.
Woof.
The parent company said, we want to give the audience time to enjoy the first chapter before we get into the second chapter.
Well...
Which is an excuse of, we made 0 money. While you look at Rebel Moon on Netflix, who's dominating.
You need to do really bad to do worse than Rebel Moon did.
Did you see a Horizon American Saga Chapter 1 trailer?
No.
I didn't.
No,
I saw only screenshots.
I still have no idea. I don't even know what the logo for this movie looks like.
You know what? I don't either.
I don't know any of it. They did really bad marketing for it. Like, really, really bad marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm burningly curious. I would actually be interested in watching it just to see how bad it actually is. I assume it's just boring. I imagine it's the beginning of a story for 4 hours.
So, I do like Kevin Costner. I am a fan of Waterworld, just to prove how much that I like him.
He's done a lot of stuff.
I love Yellowstone.
Uh-huh.
I keep up to date with Yellowstone. That's probably why I know a lot about this movie.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he just can't rise back up to that level that he used to be. He had the most impressive turnout record probably in all of Hollywood history to now.
It's almost like a curse.
Yes.
Like something cursed him. He just can't do it anymore. It's crazy. And he's a fine actor. He should be getting good roles.
Him talking about making these movies, right? He was talking about the plight of the Native Americans and how they feel towards the settlers. And then his idea of how Westerns should evoke multiple emotions and not just simply one.
Yeah, he has the right ideas.
He was talking about gunfights. He was like, I love gunfights in my movies. It's just I'm not in a hurry to get to them.
It sounds like the biggest problem is just the pacing.
Yes.
Like, rather than make 4... Because it's supposed to be 4 parts, right?
Yes.
Rather than make 4 parts...
Just like Rebel Moon.
Focus on making one concisely written story.
Mm-hmm.
And make it shorter, you know? Tighten that script up. Sorry, dude.
I can't wait for it to hit streaming for me to be able to sit down and watch it. I want to spend time with it. It's supposed to be about 4 hours long. Which, I mean, that's a long time to sit.
Strap in.
It's also like 4 or 5 different stories weaving through it.
Which could be interesting. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
It's about the American Civil War.
Oh. Oh boy.
So we're going back in time quite a while.
One of the most fun moments of history.
And then Apple Plus has announced Severance.
Yes.
Season 2.
Yes.
January 17th, 2025.
Finally. Oh my god.
If you have not seen the first season, go watch it.
Do it now. You should.
You have the whole season available to you, so you can actually sit down and binge it.
And you're gonna want to.
There are going to be multiple parts where you go, what the hell did I just see? Mm-hmm. And then go, I need to know.
Yes. And it's gonna... I'm glad season 2 is on the way, because the ending of the season also left me feeling like that. Mm-hmm. And there was many nights afterwards, just lying in bed, awake at night, going, what is it?
Yeah.
What happened? What's happening? Why?
And for a special announcement that only Critter can make, something was revived.
Ruby lives! it was picked up by Viz Media.
Yes.
So that's really all the news there is.
We'll talk about Viz Media and how you think this is going to work with RWBY.
Yeah, well, Viz Media isn't an animation company. They're a publishing company. I don't know. I don't know if they're, like, going to be producing the show. They're making more mangas.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that for sure. RWBY still lives some way. They have not announced anything. We're all just like, okay, so now we have a company we can look at, but the fate of the show is still kind of just a big question mark right now. Mm-hmm. I'm not expecting anything for a while, because animation takes a long time and is very expensive, and Rooster Teeth, Kruby, and now Viz Media.
Kruby?
Yeah, that's what they call themselves. Kruby.
With a C. Trash.
With a C in the beginning. Kruby has always been really, really bad at making money and marketing themselves. But since Viz is a publisher, that could really help. They could make merch that isn't the worst. Mm-hmm. A tiny little rectangle of a screenshot that's not, like, centered. They could do something better than that.
That's... God, I mean, the power to center an image.
I know.
Is perhaps the most powerful thing you could ever have in your life.
They could,
It's almost like they put a button on the screen that does it for you.
They could make, like actual commercials and ads. That would be something.
Functioning games.
Yeah.
So they could go all over the place, but how do you feel about reboot or finishing the story?
People keep asking for a reboot. I really don't know why. I'm just like, just finish it. Like, I want a reboot too, but I want to see how it ends. A reboot would feel so, like, bitter, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like getting to the end of the game, and then before you beat the final boss, you just turn it off and start a new game. Like, at least beat the final boss. We're so close. We're almost there. I know people talk about a reboot as if they're going to, like, drastically change giant fundamental elements of the story. I'm like, that's not what a reboot does. They're not going to make Blake and Yang not get together. If they do a reboot, they'll just tell the relationship.
Well, not in my America.
And they're not going to do the White Fang completely differently. They're just going to hopefully tell it better if they do a reboot. But I would rather see them finish it first and then make a new, interesting story instead.
Okay. So you are excited.
I am excited.
RWBY keeps the good going.
Mm-hmm.
You have more content to make.
Yep.
And... yeah, you. Me, I'm upset. RWBY sucks. I'm just gonna be honest.
It's amazing it's lasted this long. Through determination.
Honestly, I only know about it because of you.
Yeah.
I've only seen so much because of you.
Mm-hmm.
If someone showed me that first season, I would have walked away.
Yeah. Well, that's how I tricked you into watching it. I showed you a cool fight.
Through your... venomous female parts?
Yes. That's how most people trick people into getting others to watch RWBY.
Is the fights.
They show them, like, the fight at the docks versus Torchwick. Or they'll show you one of the trailers, you know, where it's really, really cool and impressive.
Which, that's why you guys got tricked into liking this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just kept sitting there waiting for it to get as good as those trailers, and it never really did.
So it's just fools tricking fools.
Yeah. The blind leading the blind.
Yes. Thanks, Rooster Teeth.
Woo!
Legacy. Okay, let's talk about video games.
Yay!
There's not much.
Okay.
But Nintendo is working on something. And they tweeted out an image, which, if you see the teaser trailer, it's a wool.
Mm-hmm.
It's called...
Emio?
Emio?
Emio? I'm not sure.
So there's a light on a wall, and then all of a sudden, this figure appears. He's wearing a suit, and he has a bag over his head. And their head. And then they're, like, twitching, like, fun little, oh, it's a horror thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the facial expression on the bag changes. And then they're gone. And then Japanese text comes out. And apparently it translates to the Smiling Man, which Emio stands for.
Okay.
Or means.
Yeah.
Rumors are that this is a project that Nintendo is working on to create their own horror IP.
Nice.
Because they don't actually have one.
About time. They needed some new stuff.
They did have one, but it wasn't really theirs.
Was it Fatal Frame?
It was Resident Evil.
No, they never had Resident Evil.
Yes.
Really?
They had a special contract with Capcom.
Then how come Fatal Frame is in Smash Brothers, but there isn't a hint of Resident Evil?
Because that contract ran out.
Well,
Resident Evil 0 was exclusively for the GameCube. Resident Evil Remake was exclusively for the GameCube. They brought Resident Evil Code Veronica X out of the depths of hell and brought it onto the GameCube. Also, Resident Evil 4 itself, the original. If you find
that one's on every console.
No, but if you find the original box, which I do have, on the corner it says only for GameCube.
Wow. Well, they dropped the ball with that one, didn't they?
Well, the contract ran out.
Yeah.
But they were like, oh, we could just use these guys. And then, yeah, they ended up making something way too big.
I'm excited. I want Nintendo to have more IPs.
We don't know exactly what this is, but we just know that this is this horror project they've been working on.
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait.
Pal World developer signs deal with Sony to expand the IP. But there's no news when the game will actually make it to PlayStation.
Sooner or later, hopefully.
I want to do a special power on for it because I haven't been able to play Pal World. And I want to see what it is and see, like, what's the real controversy? Does it really match up?
How many of them really do look like just Pokemon?
Yeah, let's be honest. Anubis is Lucario.
There's a couple of them that do look real similar.
Really
There are others that people are like, this is obviously Magmar or something. And I'm like, that's okay, this is a
it's just
stretch.
a fucking Caterpie that's red.
Sometimes it's a stretch where it's like, this is Piplup. And I'm like, it's just a penguin. Like I'm sorry, Piplup has some very distinct figures. This is just a penguin.
Nice. So I'm excited for that. We got some trailers this week. Time Bandits.
Yeah.
Which is an old film from 81 about a little boy who gets sucked into this time warp with the Time Bandits to go steal something because they're bandits.
They have misadventures.
Yep. And it's a comedy.
History. Yep.
And Taika Waititi is now tackling this new project. It looks fun.
It does look fun.
It's also for Apple Plus. It'll come out later this year.
Yep. Lisa Kudrow's in it. I love her, so that's great.
If you watch the trailer, there's a really funny moment at the end.
Yes.
You and I were both pretty much laughing at that.
It's comedy forward. I have no idea. I didn't even know Time Bandits was a thing before.
Yes.
So
when we get closer, there should be a film review by me about the original Time Bandits.
Nice.
So that we can get ready for Time Bandits.
Heck yeah.
And
I'm
then
excited.
We should talk about it on Coffee Break. Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
Dude.
I'm hyped.
Bro.
I'm into it.
Man.
I wasn't expecting to be into it.
Brah. It looks good.
It really does.
I was like, Gladiator 2 is a stupid idea.
Yeah.
And then I saw the trailer and I was like, that's an amazing idea.
Yes. I wasn't super into the song choice. Like, I was like, oh, okay, not exactly what I would go with, but it wasn't horrible. But I'm very excited. Like, the movie itself looks really good, so I'm into that. I like how saturated it is.
Yes.
So bright. You can really see the colors.
I totally agree with you. The saturation. Oh my god. Creating Frogman, the boy in the Frogman, and just changing other people's, like, because that footage is free for me to use, but I went in there and started messing with their footage.
Yeah.
And I was like, you could have made this a better image.
I know. Saturation looks so good, and especially, like, modern Hollywood really likes to desaturate and brown everything up. Every single superhero, you know.
That's why white actors aren't in it anymore. They have to brown it up. Bad joke. Sorry, guys.
like think about Superman. Like, he's supposed to be wearing blue and red, and I look at, like, one of the more recent movies, and he's, like, wearing dark, almost black, and the reds are dark and desaturated and almost black, and I'm like, what's the point? You know, why even do the colors?
No, Gladiator 2 looks amazing.
I'm really excited for it.
This does look fun. And it's gonna blow Wicked out of the fucking ballpark. There's no chance. And also, don't group the two together. Yeah, Gladiator does not deserve to be tarnished like that. We
all knew after Barbenheimer that companies were going to be desperate to try to do it again. They've tried to do it a couple of times now. It's not going to happen. Stop making fetch happen. It's not going to happen, Gretchen.
Agatha All Along. The trailer. The new MCU show all about Agatha.
I'm annoyed because it does look cool.
You know what got me?
Huh.
They opened the doors, and then there was a demon just screaming at them.
And it was creepy.
And I was just like, this looks amazing.
It looks so different.
This is so up my alley.
It looks so unique compared to what Marvel's other stuff has been. Aubrey Plaza's in it.
Yep.
Another Parks and Rec member dragged into the cast of Marvel.
You think she'll meet Star-Lord?
Maybe.
It would be weird to see them together again.
I'm annoyed because it does look cool. I can't wait to see how they disappoint me this time.
No, I figured it would be all comedy. Haha, we're witches, we're coming back. And I thought it was going to be like this stupid sitcom kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's going in its own direction. It's got its own idea. This is the third time Marvel is going to release a horror thing.
Yeah.
With Doctor Strange 2.
Yep.
What was it? Madness in the Multiverse. And Wolfman?
Wolfman? Oh, I love Wolfman. It's so good.
Yep.
Dare I be hopeful?
Should be. They said they want to keep going.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope it's good.
Yeah, there's definitely a possibility of making this darker side of Marvel, and I would be very much excited and willing to participate in it.
And it comes out later this year?
Yep. And it comes out late September, first 2 episodes, and then episodically weekly.
How many episodes? Do we know?
I think 8. That's just standard industry.
I'll be hesitantly hopeful, but I'm also still a little nervous. It's been a while since they've had a TV show, so maybe they've really taken the time to, like, put all the effort and care into this one.
Well, I mean, it's their next project after Deadpool and Wolverine, which some select audience have been allowed to watch 35 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And they're all saying the same thing. They're like, no, the MCU's back. They're saying this is the movie. They were right. This is the one to put it back on the map.
Dare I dream? Maybe. I'd rather live in the world where MCU was really hype than continue living in this world where I'm like, oh, come on, Marvel. You're
Eternals 2?
No! Alright, what else?
Okay, so what does Assassin's Creed Shadows and Gladiator 2 have in common? People who judge each other by the color of their skin. Racism.
Good old racists.
So, I don't know what their idea even is, because I don't understand racism beyond just being mean.
Yeah, because you're not racist.
Yeah.
It's impossible to, like, comprehend the lack of empathy a racist has.
I can't put myself in those shoes, and I really don't care to.
It's
because I look at Assassin's Creed and I'm like, yeah, he's a real samurai.
It's just so annoying that these whiny little piss babies, these whiny little white boys are just throwing a fit because people of other ethnicities and races exist. And their poor little bitch baby eyeballs has to acknowledge their existence if they're watching their movies or playing their video games.
And then signing a petition to tell Ubisoft to stop the release of this game.
It's so dumb.
This game has been asked for for almost 2 decades now. We have all been asking for feudal Japan.
I hope. Yeah, they wanted feudal Japan so long as their little white boy got to be the main character.
What did you actually ask for?
I hope this is the best selling Assassin's Creed game of all time. I hope this is the most successful game ever, and all the racists sit there and piss their little diapers and have a tantrum because the game they don't like because they're so racist is so amazing, and there's nothing they can do about it. I will buy 700 copies I want this game to do so good.
If you look, 700 copies. It's a lot of money. And then what's the problem with Gladiator 2? Denzel Washington is a black actor playing a Roman.
Yeah.
The historians have come out and just laid that to waste.
That just goes to show how racists are also incredibly stupid.
Unintelligent people.
There's no black people in Rome. Listen,
Bro,
homie.
bro.
All those movies with all the white people, that was the wrong one.
Yeah. Those were the bad ones. So, yeah, if you dislike something because of the color of the skin of the people that are in it, you should really rethink a lot of things about yourself. Stop thinking about other people and start realizing the problem lies within.
Yes.
Though I think I'm probably talking to the wrong audience.
Probably.
But just know that even I'm looking at this going, fuck you.
Yeah. It's just so petty. What a childish baby.
And yeah,
Dumb.
both this game and Gladiator 2 look amazing. And that's what you saw? That's what that stopped you?
Yeah.
You know what stopped me? The fact I couldn't enjoy it more now.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn, I really want to watch Gladiator. It looks like I want it.
You want to go to theaters and watch it?
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay. So, at this point, I would consider this a proper ending to Coffee Break without box office trolls, because I actually already told you what the winner was.
Yeah.
What's going on with you?
I'm going to be doing a Nuzlocke.
Nice.
I already started the first part of the Nuzlocke last week.
You're playing Pokemon?
Only one Pokemon died, which
Nice.
was not my fault. 100% not my fault at all.
Was it hops?
It was... I wandered into an area of the wild area that was higher level than I thought, and then a Delibird came out of nowhere, and then it wouldn't let me run away. It's fine. It's whatever. It's okay. But I'm gonna keep doing that. Gonna at least get through Nessa and Kabu's gym, at least, but I'm thinking hopefully I can get further than that. So, and also, episode 5 of Ruby Reversed Fates is this week. Hooray, I really like this one. It's the longest episode so far.
Good job.
Almost 30 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell them about the special little device you got?
Oh, I got a Steam Deck.
There you go.
So now I can play Baldur's Gate 3 on something that's not my computer, because my computer doesn't run very good.
Yep.
And eventually I'll figure out how to stream with the Steam Deck. And whenever that new Monica Magica game comes out, I'm going to stream it all the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of struggling with computers, this is actually the second time we recorded this podcast.
Yes.
We recorded it 2 nights ago from this release, and my computer freaked out again and got rid of all of this stuff. I have to rebuild things.
Yep.
Had to re-record this podcast. This podcast is actually longer than the original.
Yeah, somehow.
But the good thing that happened here, the saving grace, is actually the Acolyte. We had time to sit down and watch the Acolyte.
Yes. So we can actually talk about it.
So in my moments of defeat, I had a chance to sit there with a Sith Lord and understand his plight.
Nice.
For me, I am dropping Evil Within. The Evil Within is over. It's probably one of the worst ways to play a final boss. So if you're just curious, skip forward and find the final boss when you're watching that one. It's terrible. If you've been enjoying it, get ready for that. And it's just so jarring and bizarre. There's things that just don't line up. It doesn't make sense to me. But it's finally over. We're done with that. And so the Saturday slot for Power On has always been Evil Within. The one to fulfill it or replace it will be the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Ooh.
Because Resident Evil 2 remake is considered one of the greatest, or if not the greatest, third-person horror survival shooter. So I wanted to go back and play that. It's been years since I played it, so you get to hang out with me and figure out, like, we already know the story.
But just have fun and enjoy Raccoon City.
Let's see what it really is and what it curtails to. Mm-hmm. I finished a video. Some of you saw it. Some of you haven't yet.
The Frogman.
It's called The Boy and the Frogman. I know the thumbnail is trash. I need to work on it. Like I said, the computer did some stuff. Mm-hmm. I was kind of rushed out of the office when I created that thumbnail.
Yeah.
But right now, the turnout has been great and lovely. If you've seen it, thank you so much.
It's really good. I think it's really, really good.
Yeah, it's a large improvement over Skinwalker, and I am looking forward to the third project.
Yeah.
I've got it in mind. I know what I want to do. It's going to be a lot bigger, a lot more pain. But if you're looking for a sequel or something, Frogman is only like 6.5 minutes long.
It's really good. I like the editing. You did a good job telling the story.
I kept it really tight, kept it dense, and I allow the imagination to flow as well.
Yeah.
With all that being said, what is the replacement for One Piece? I'll say it here. It's Stellar Blade.
Woo!
Starting next Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday. Stellar Blade. And hopefully Coffee Break will continually release on Thursdays earlier than it will be today.
Yeah, hopefully no more computer shenanigans.
Yes. I'm going to keep an eye on that. I'm going to do a factory reset on the whole computer. I know. It's insane to think that, but I think maybe if I could just reset everything, I could have a better grip on it.
Maybe. I don't know. You have an Apple. I don't touch these.
Other than that, there's stuff coming. There's stuff already here. Mm-hmm. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's go straight into Box Office Trolls.
Box Office Trolls. Number 1, unsurprisingly, it's Inside Out.
Nope. It's Despicable Me 4.
Wow. Not surprising. Good for them. It's gonna stay at number 1 for a while.
So, Despicable Me franchise, including the Minions, is considered one of the highest grossing animated franchises of all time. Mm-hmm. Toy Story and Shrek are in the top 10, but they don't even come close to this thing.
It's insane. Babies, kids, old people, they love the Minions.
That's right, old people shit themselves too.
They love their, like, bad Facebook memes with Minions that they post too often.
The price of the Minions IP alone, because of the 2 movies, which is Minions and Minions Rise of Gru, is worth $2 billion.
Yeah.
That is the price of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
If you wanted to buy Peter Parker from Sony and Marvel, he's $2 billion.
He's worth a Minions.
Not talking about anything else. It's just Peter Parker.
Yeah.
That's all you get. That character, that's a lot. That's insane. This is a new thing. Because Peter was made in the 70s?
But people love him. It's easy to love Peter.
Yeah. I mean, I love Peter too. But it's like, these little yellow numbnuts are just...
They're crazy.
Yeah.
They're easily marketable. It's easy to just slap them somewhere. They make funny little fart noises and say goofy things like banana.
Yep. They have their own language.
Kids eat that up.
So, way to go, Despicable Me 4. Weird turnout for it, because there used to be, especially with Minions, people dressing up as Gru.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
Times change.
Yeah.
I don't know. Inside Out 2, of course, number 2.
Yep, gonna stick around for a while as well.
Quiet Place Day 1 is number 3.
Yeah.
A film that has been called Better When It's Not a Quiet Place. Maxine is number 4. Maxine.
I do want to see this one.
Maxine is an A24 film. It is the 3rd film in a trilogy.
Yeah, it was X, then Pearl, now Maxine.
Yes. X is the midquel.
Yeah, it's not told in order.
And Pearl's the prequel. Pearl? So people don't like Maxine. They're saying it's not living up to the last 2. Pearl, I think, was the best one.
Yes, it was really different. I loved how bright it was.
Mm-hmm.
She did amazingly as a character. The actress.
Yes.
Pearl stands out. It sticks with you. There's not a lot of other horror movies that are doing, like, there's so many things that, like, it's not creepy, but it is creepy. Like, just weird scenes that's like, this shouldn't be scaring me as much as it does. Nothing's happening, but it's so creepy.
There's a scene, you'll probably see it a lot, where she's crawling up a scarecrow's fence or pole.
Yeah.
And she's dancing with him, and she puts a hat on him.
It's weird.
It's weirdly shot, but it's actually not as creepy as you think it is.
I think the thing that really creeps it out is, like, the too realistic looking face on the scarecrow.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. So good job, Maxine.
Number 5. Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Yeah.
Number 6. Horizon, an American Saga, Chapter 1.
Oh.
Coming at 22 million.
I remember it was way higher last week, and I knew it was going to plummet.
Number 7. The Sound of Hope, the story of Possum Trot.
Yeah.
Possum being spelt wrong.
It is. There's no O in the beginning.
Technically, it's a noun.
It's a Jesus movie, you know.
Well, let's just read the plot here. The true story of Donna and Reverend W.C. Martin and their church in East Texas, in which 22 families adopt 77 children from the local foster system, igniting a movement of vulnerable children everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's good for them. Good for them.
Alki, 2898 AD, which is that Bollywood film about...
Oh, I was like, what are you saying?
About Shiva?
Yeah. We talked about it last week.
Yep. That's still in there. Number 9, Bike Riders.
Okay.
And number 10, The Fall Guy.
Yeah, everyone forgot about that one immediately.
And for those who are curious about Ghosts not being on this list, because, you know, you guys were clamoring. I'm not. And I'm joking all about that. But if you really wanted to see right here, right now, there's a special app that he's made a deal with that you can watch this weekend and have basically premiere tickets to watch it worldwide on this app.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool idea. I'm not going to join them because I'm too busy. And also, I just want a physical copy and I want to get all my sound stuff put together. Mm-hmm. So I can sit down and just enjoy the concert.
Heck yeah.
I definitely don't need an app service for that.
No, that's the thing. I don't want to get some weird app I don't know about. I trust Papa, but, like, I can be patient.
So this week, we only watched really Disney movies. Mm-hmm. There's 2 Disney movies that stood out. And luckily, because we had to re-record this, we had time to sit down with the Acolyte. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about those Disney the movies first, right?
Yeah.
Tangled.
Yes.
I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
But coming back as an adult, years later, and watching it, it is probably one of the most spot-on Disney films I've ever seen.
It's really cute. It's like the opposite of what I was saying before, where I watch Inside Out, and every time I watch it again, I like it less.
Yes.
Tangled is the opposite, where every time I watch it again, I like it more and more. Mm-hmm. Their relationship is adorable. It's fun, bright, colorful, funny.
They're
very funny.
Super cute.
Mm-hmm.
Rapunzel and Flynn
mm-hmm.
are just really cute characters.
They are.
You can feel the chemistry, even when they're not trying to be romantic. Mm-hmm. They're just friends, and then that energy is so big that it reverberates through the room that they're in, that it affects the other characters.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a fun thing.
It's
Maximus,
the
horse. Mm-hmm. He's a fun little character.
Fun villain. Like I was saying, it's not a dumb twist. We just know our villains right from the get-go. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. It's really cute. I do like it a lot.
I would say, when I first watched Tangled, I would probably gave it a 5 out of 10.
When you were a kid back in the day.
I was a young teenager.
Yeah.
But I would give Tangled now a strong 10 out of 10.
Heck yeah.
Like, honestly, it's better than Frozen. Mm-hmm. It's superior.
Oh, yeah. I watched Frozen, and it's... Ugh.
We watched Wreck-It Ralph, which is the next one chronologically.
Yep.
Ralph and his team are very fun. It's a fun, wonderful world.
Stylistic difference.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm amazed that Disney did this and not Pixar.
It was the first thing they did after getting Pixar. So, that probably helped.
Yep.
But yeah, it doesn't look... At a glance, you wouldn't guess it was a Disney movie, I don't think.
My biggest problem with Wreck-It Ralph is Ralph himself, his design. Mm-hmm. He's kind of jarring to me, especially going from Tangled to Wreck-It Ralph.
Something a bit more realistically proportioned to Ralph, which is very, very cartoon-styled. Big hands, simplistic patterns and stuff.
But Ralph, there's heart. Mm-hmm. And the heart is still there.
Yes.
And it's still a wonderful film.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no gripes. I would just say Tangled is definitely the superior one over that.
Yeah.
Acolyte.
The Acolyte.
Episode 6 and Episode 7.
The second to last and third to last episodes. Episode 6, boring. I'm gonna say.
Where Osha is talking to Quamir.
Yeah. It was a lot of starting to set up something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're moving forward. But if I had watched... I'm glad we skipped the episode and waited to watch the last two back-to-back. Because if I had just seen episode 6 and had to wait a week, I would be pissed at how little actually progressed in that one.
I was clinging on to every word and every thought that Quamir had.
Yeah.
And I've thought about him all day.
Yeah.
And how much I love him. He is a Sith Lord through and through. He is so much like Anakin and Kylo Ren. Mm-hmm. He's just so awesome. I love my Sith Lords. And this show finally showcases how bad the fucking Jedi are.
It is a fun exploration of the conflict with the Jedi. Like, by their nature. Mm-hmm. You know.
Their nature is toxic.
It doesn't make sense. I get that they do it for, like, a moral thing, but it also is constantly their downfall. And they were right.
The moment you add emotion to a Jedi, they're a Sith Lord.
Yeah, and it happens too often. Way too often.
Mm-hmm. And you realize that, and yet, talking to Quamir and listening to him, mm-hmm. you can relate to him. You can understand him. Mm-hmm. He has emotion. He's not just this brick wall of like, I wear this mask and I have this red sword.
A lot of things with the Jedi is that like they don't acknowledge the problems. They very much like because they don't do that emotional thing.
Yep.
They have a big avoidance thing. So nothing ever really gets resolved, and then things boil up and boil over, and then things go poorly because they have these like unpackaged emotions that they're dealing with.
Yes. Now, a friend of mine, and in the future, you'll meet this friend, but for now, we've been talking about the Acolyte, mm-hmm. and something he said to me was how he wished they condensed it down. And after finishing episode 7, which is the second to last episode,
yep,
and realizing, oh, this is the story, and we were told a very different idea of what the story, because the trailers were pretty nifty about it.
I mean, I didn't really watch the trailer, so I'm not really sure.
They did a good job at trying to hide the true mystery here.
That's cool.
Because the actual show goes the way you think it does.
Mm-hmm.
The mystery is actually the weakness and the frailty of the Jedi.
Yeah.
It showcases how terrible they are.
They don't.
And finally, someone showed us how bad the Jedi are.
I know. It really like hurt the concept of the dark side, having them sit there and wax platitudes about how the Jedi make mistakes.
Yeah.
And they do, but this is a really good example of how Jedi's fundamental laws they abide by is a big part of their mistakes.
So episode 6 of it could have been consolidated.
Yes.
And episode 1 and 2 of it could have been consolidated.
Yeah, and then we would have saved some like extra time for some more exploration.
Or we just done 6 episodes.
Or we could have done that, yeah.
The most jarring episode of this season is episode 3. Right?
Yes.
Everyone agrees. But once you get to episode 7, guess what it is?
You sit there and go, oh, now I get
It's the other half that you were missing.
Yep.
Now, from here, if you haven't followed all of the Acolyte, leave.
Okay.
This is all spoilers. Because we're going to talk about the characters and what happened and the emotions that took over them to make them make these decisions. I highly recommend you do watch this. It's better than Andor. I would put it next to...
You didn't watch Andor. You can't say that.
I don't like Rogue One. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Now, continuing on. Seeing the other half, episode 3 and episode 7 mirror each other.
Yeah.
If you put them together, and I was kind of curious last night, and I asked you this, and I was like, what if someone just kind of edited them together so they were just all one story?
Yeah, but that's the point of the mystery. I mean, I guess it's like, but the thing is, they don't really solve a mystery. There's just things the girls don't know, and then we have to wait until finally people tell them the things that they need to know.
Yeah.
So it's not really like a solving of a mystery. It's just they didn't give you all the information right away.
And what I found interesting was Master Soul is this good guy. And his heart is there with Osha. And he cares about her. And he cares about the Jedi way.
Yes.
No.
He's
probably the most Sith Lordy Sith I've ever fucking seen in my life.
No, because he had good intentions. That's the
No,
thing.
he predetermined that he was going to kidnap this child and teach her the Jedi way.
No, but he said he wanted to do it to protect them, and I do believe that, but also they don't know what they were going to be protecting them from. It's very much like they inserted themselves into other people's lives, and their insertion caused the problem.
Which caused that confrontation, which was kind of weird.
No matter how good intentioned it was.
That standoffish moment where after everything happened and May died because Soul let her go.
Yes.
Because he decided to keep Osha alive. How Soul remains alive, we've yet to see. I have ideas, but we'll just wait till Tuesday.
You mean May?
May.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. I imagine we'll get all... I imagine the Acolyte would be really good binged. You know, if you just sat down and binged the whole thing. Because the waiting, really does. The waiting hurts the pacing of it.
The waiting is the hardest part.
It's, yeah.
But...
Thanks, Tom Petty.
But you realize that when you see Quamir as the stranger, the Sith Lord, right? And the way he's fighting everybody... And he also is committing atrocities.
Yes.
Right?
Obviously.
Both of them have killed younglings.
Yes.
A Jedi killed younglings.
Well, he killed a youngling.
Yeah, but he openly let her go
He
to
did.
save the one that he felt the connection to.
Yeah.
Dude, he's the villain.
It's very conflicting, because I like him a lot, but I also was like, no, you're really goofed up. And the thing was, he didn't even really feel that much of a connection to her, because it's the part when he kills their mom lady.
Yep. Oh, by the way, Quamir never killed an innocent person.
To be fair, she was like a witch, and it was activating like a witch misty step. I would also assume she was like powering up for like next stage of battle mode, so I don't blame him for striking
So
her.
he turns on his lightsaber and just guts her?
Well, what else were you gonna do? Just let her possess Torben and have Torben fight you? We saw what happened with the
Mighty
movie.
convenient of the guy who wants your daughter to be his Padawan to off the mother. The thing that was in between the two of them.
That wasn't his Padawan. That was the Indara's Padawan.
What?
He didn't have a Padawan yet.
No.
Oh.
Because he wanted Osha.
You said he, and her, rather than, like, names.
I'm talking about Soul with their mom. I can't remember her name.
So, like, the part that is... So, May is running around the corner trying to find someone because the fire started.
Yes.
And Soul sees her, and he just assumed it was Osha. He didn't know which twin was which.
Yes.
He just assumed that was the one he wanted to be his Padawan.
Yes. See?
So he didn't really have that much of a connection to her that he thought he did.
Obi says what about Sith?
I don't know.
They only deal in absolutes.
Master Obi-Wan, that is an absolute.
But he did.
He did.
And he straight up just murdered an innocent woman.
I don't think Soul's a Sith. Because there's other fundamental elements to a Sith.
I didn't say he's a Sith. I'm saying he's on the road to being a Sith. But honestly, he's the bad guy.
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be a thing like they're...
are the bad guys.
I don't think it's meant to be seen as black and white. I think that's kind of the point.
Well, I'm a Sith and I deal only in absolutes. And I see it as black and white. Unlike my video games and movies, I do see this one as black and white.
I am excited to see how it all wraps up.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Was it cool to watch the Wookiee?
It was cool. Wookiees are fun. They're strong, they're big, and the one with the Force was bonkers.
The way to stop him, Soul coming in with his hilt to punch his wrist to make the Wookiee drop his lightsaber. Mm-hmm. And he also did that to Quamir multiple times, just trying to stop the hand from holding it.
Without cutting the hand off.
And I'm like, why is this fighting style being introduced now? This should have been introduced a while ago. Like, this is so obvious.
It's cool.
And it is so cool.
I will say the combat has been some of the best in the Star Wars universe.
It makes so much sense. So, okay. We got the obvious. Osha and May.
Yeah.
Twins.
Yes.
Same
Not
body.
Not really. They were talking about that because twins would have different, force energies or something. They're one consciousness split into two bodies,
yes.
Which is not the same thing as being a twin in universe, apparently.
But now, it makes me go back and look at the fight between Kumar and Soul, right? Mm-hmm. And Kumar going, what did you do with your darkness, right? Mm-hmm. And then that lingering thought going on. And it's like, oh, you guys aren't any different than each other.
No.
You will kill whoever you need to make sure that you succeed in life.
Yeah, you want something and you're willing to do whatever it takes to get the thing you want.
And when Soul gets him down on his knees and he goes, what do you want? He goes, I want to feel the power of two.
Yeah, he said, I want an apprentice.
Yes.
Yeah.
An acolyte.
Mm-hmm.
They both want that. So not only do we have these twins who are supposed to be the same thing, but now their masters want the same thing.
There's a lot of stuff that's like parallels throughout the story. It's very fun.
Yes. And personally, I think Quamir is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They're both bad guys.
Yeah.
They make horrible decisions, and killing innocent people, Soul, and killing children, both of them, is no bueno for me. But it's also like, oh, this is kind of a fun writing style. Mm-hmm. And remember when they started saying they were going to write this story and they brought in a writer who doesn't know Star Wars?
Yes.
And doesn't care?
That makes sense.
This is their thing. This is their thing going like, let's play with the yin and yang.
Yes. Yes.
And they definitely did. And it flipped. It's topsy-turvy.
Cool stuff.
I'm enjoying the Acolyte. I don't know where this last episode will go. I have theories. It has to end with at least Quamir and
Soul, Osha, May,
Osha.
Any of them.
Quamir and Osha becoming the master and apprentice of the Siths.
Probably.
Which is the law of two.
Uh-huh.
And they beat down the Jedi.
Maybe. Maybe there'll be a season 2.
They talked about a season 2, but I would really prefer that we didn't.
I would prefer like a tightly knit story versus
Or just make a movie.
After Mandalorian season 3.
Other than that, I really enjoyed those 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? Episode 7 made me appreciate episode 3 even more.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, that's why it's so jarring.
That's why we do that at that time. It makes sense.
That's why there's so many pieces missing. And there's still pieces missing.
Yes. Guess I hope the last episode's really long. Like another hour-long one.
Did you see how long the 7th episode was?
No.
It was 44 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of them like linger around the 30-minute mark.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should try to go for hour-long if they're going to do this.
One more thing about it. I just wanted to bring this up. Is after Soul kills the mother, right? Tarbin, the Padawan, is there. And the mother's archer defense is there.
Yeah.
And they start shooting at him with their little bows and arrows.
Uh-huh.
And he's using his lightsaber, and he's just knocking these things aback, right?
Yes.
Sorry, I hit the table. But he's just knocking them back. And I was just like, where did these women think they were going to stop him?
I mean, they might.
All he had to
gotta
do...
at least try.
all he had to do was one swift move to knock out a lot of arrows from the sky, and then force push that bridge, destroy the bridge. Them being on it, they all die.
Yeah,
or they're badly hurt.
The Jedi don't want to hurt or maim or kill people.
So then now, question the actions of what Soul did.
Uh-huh.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's fun. I'm glad that the Jedi are finally painted in the dark light.
It is interesting. I do agree.
Also, Cormier's helmet.
So is that the end of coffee break?
That was the end of coffee break.
Big long one.
Damn, it's almost 2 hours.
I know.
The original was actually an hour and 7 minutes.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully none of this happens again.
Hopefully.
And guys, enjoy your night. Enjoy your week.
Be safe. Stay hydrated.
Yep, it's a hot summer. It's a hot, hot summer.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.